Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Christy. If you're new here, hello. This is a video of what's on my iPhone 8, and yeah, let's just get right started. So on the first page, it's all my just normal Apple apps, I guess. So this is the calendar, and this is where I plan a lot of my things, and this is the weather app, and for once it's like sunny in Vancouver, which is crazy. And then these are my Google apps, and I use them quite a bit, and the most used one is probably Google Translate. And then I have a Google Home, so I use that also a lot, and I have one in my kitchen as well. These are my finance apps, and it's just a way that I can keep track of my money and everything. And then these are my miscellaneous Apple apps, and so it's just a bunch of the Apple ones that I use a lot. So like voice recordings, I have a ton because that's how I record my voiceovers. Moving on, this is the Apple Watch app because my boyfriend recently gave me an Apple Watch for my birthday, and it's also our anniversary, and so this is where I kind of control all the settings, and you can change the different watch faces. And then we have the health app, and I don't really use this that much. I'm trying to track my sleep more, and so I'm wearing my Apple Watch as well to sleep. And then this is the 1 second a day app, and basically I record and store 1 second of every day, and I've finished it for January. I just sped this up so you guys can kind of see what my January was, and I'm currently working on the February one. And then my calculator, I always calculate my price stuff or like my pay and stuff here. So that's a quick overview of everything on my first page. Some of them I didn't go over because they're just normal like apps, but yeah, this is my next page. It's the social media apps, so Facebook of course, and then Snapchat, and then I have Messenger, and this is a conversation with my brother because we were ordering bubble tea. YouTube of course, YouTube is very important, and then WeChat, I use that to chat with my family, and then WhatsApp is mostly for work, and then Google Doc just because I have lots of documents for work and school. Next is Netflix of course. I actually sometimes watch on my phone, and I want to share with you guys the K-drama that I'm gonna watch next. I just finished True Beauty and it was so good. And then next is Spotify, and I'll link my Spotify, so if you guys want to listen to my playlist, feel free to do so. And then Reddit, I don't personally use it that much, but I love going on Notion and K-drama subreddits. Clue is an app to keep track of that time of the month, and I've been using this one for a while now, and yeah, I think it's the best one I've used so far. Moving on to the productivity apps, the first one is Time Page, and this is an app that I found recently, but it syncs in with your other calendars, so Google or Apple calendars. You can customize the colors and everything, and it just makes being productive so much more fun. And then next we have Minimalist, and this is just a really easy way to keep track of to-do list or grocery list. And then very similar to that, I also have DM. It's like the same thing, but I'm like a hoarder of like productivity apps, which is why I have a lot at once. And then we have Tide, and it's amazing. Just listen to this. So basically you can change different soundtracks and stuff, and it helps you focus because there's also a timer that you can set, so a Pomodoro timer, or depending on how long you want to focus for. And they also have other things like breathing exercises, meditation, and it's just a really good app for productivity, and I love the interface. And they also have like a quote of a day kind of thing. Next we have Zen Flip Clock, and I use this more on my iPad, but it's a really aesthetic looking watch or clock that I can just use to feel productive. And so if you swipe left and right, there are different timers and countdowns for you to use. Yeah, but I do use this more on my iPad, and I put it beside my laptop so I can look at the time while I'm working. Next we have Duolingo, which you guys might know of, but I'm currently trying to brush up my Chinese and also maintain my Korean, which is why I have Duolingo, and I'm planning to learn Japanese next. This one is one that I'm testing out right now, and it's basically like a habit tracker, but you log into things that you want to track, and then you can just check into them. So I have breathing, hydration, and that kind of stuff. And moving on, these are my other frequently used apps. This is the third page in my like home screen, I guess. This one is my photo and video editing apps. I have quite a bit because I'm obsessed with it. but Vsco is my main editing app for photos, and I basically do everything here, and then I will fine-tune them in Snapseed, which is just for touching up different things. And VN is a app that I use to edit my TikTok videos. So yeah, all my TikToks are edited on my phone and just using my phone. And then Design Lab is what I use for my graphics. So most of my thumbnails are made here, and also my stories and everything. And then Unum is that how you pronounce it? But that's where I basically plan out my IG feed. CapCut is another video editing tool that I used, but then I transferred to using VN. Prequel is an app for video filters and like that kind of stuff, but I don't love it because the better filters you have to pay for them. And then Pinterest, of course, for inspo and just getting like photo ideas, I guess. And Snow is a Chinese camera and filter app, and I mostly use it for the Polaroid and film aesthetics. Over I mostly use for text, and so sometimes if you see fancy text in my thumbnail, that's from Over. I use Instaxshare to print the photos for my Polaroids because I have a Polaroid printer. This app is one that I use to do any editing that requires a invisible background. I love this one for erasing backgrounds. And then these are my food delivery apps. So I have DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Fantuan. Next we have TikTok, and I have it on my third page because I want it to be hard to find so I don't spend forever on it. And then YouTube Studio, that's what we use to keep track of our progress and look at the analytics. With the new iOS update, you can basically hide all the other apps that you don't want to be on your homepage. So I have a bunch here, but I'll go over my games. First one, Among Us, of course. It's a staple for quarantine. I don't play that much, but Bakery Story, this is one that I play with my friends, and as you can see, I don't play as well. And then Genshin Impact, I got on this recently, but the thing with games is that I can never remember to play them. I just kind of forget that I'm playing games. And then Heads Up is just one of the apps that I've purchased, but this is a really good icebreaker game. Pokemon Go, because my boyfriend and I went to Japan. I don't have much to show, but I guess CoStar is a really good one, especially if you're into horoscopes and that kind of thing. I don't really go on this a lot, but I just like reading it from time to time. And Foreo is an app that I use with my skincare device. This was a present for me, and it's been really fun using this with my masks. Recently I got on Clubhouse, and it's like live audio channels and that kind of stuff. Between is an app that I use with my boyfriend. We don't actually use it often, but one year I went back to China and then I couldn't use Facebook, so we used this messaging instead. And then Twitter, I recently started a K-drama Twitter, but I did it for like 3 weeks and I stopped using it. And then if you swipe all the way to the left, these are my smart widgets. So these are made by Widgetsmith, and I don't like how you can see the title, so I left it in the widgets section. And of course Notion, but I don't really like using it on my phone, to be honest. I like the desktop version a lot more, but I just have that, so it's like an easy access to it. And then you can also do a minimalist or tide widget, and that is all for my iPhone video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!